Hey everybody. Um, Kind of a sad day at Nova today. Here we have a 1983 Yamaha Venture 1200. Um, and the customer originally brought it to me to be stored with me for the winter with the plan to get it resurrected for the coming riding season. And after digging into it yesterday, I have had to pull the plug on the project, unfortunately. Just with the customer's budget, I found a couple of key things that I knew within the first 10 minutes of working on the bike that it was just not going to be realistic, which really bums me out. This is the Goldwing of Yamaha, so naturally it's right up my alley. They made these from 1983 to 1993, I believe. This is like the granddaddy to the Yamaha Venture Royale cruiser of the late 90s, early 2000s. It's the V4. So I was excited about this project, but right after digging into it, getting the center console out, I've already blown it out, but this was just full of a rat's nest. The battery's right here, usually, and just full of a mouse nest, which normally doesn't always deter me. That happens. But then just looking even closer, the previous owner has gotten real creative with crimps, which, not my favorite thing to see, but again, it doesn't mean I won't work on it. Just look at the condition of this fuse junction. Everything is corroded. I've got a ton of loose and dirty connections, which again, I see this, I'm like, okay, this is kind of adds a different aspect to this job for sure. But I put a jumper battery on it, and right off the bat, fuses started blowing, and stuff started getting really, really hot. Like all of these connections, any dirty, loose connection or wire, any broken wire. I have mouse damage chewed, down into the harness this way. Which that's not immediately like something that will kill a project, but for something like this, of this era, this is relatively complicated. It's got a lot of systems going on in here. So I just knew that I could easily sink 10 hours minimum making sure that all these connections are sound, they're tight, they're clean. I don't have any weird shorts. I'm sure anybody is familiar with spending hours chasing a short that they think they have. And a lot of times electrical can be something simple. A lot of times it's like a dirty ground or a loose connection. But I just kind of knew that it was time to call the customer. And that's a big part of my job, is to make sure that the customer's expectations and my expectations are aligned with reality. I would love nothing more than to work on this machine, because I think it's got plenty of life left in it, but for the customer's budget, it's not realistic at this point. The idea was to, verify the viability of the motor. First thing, the bike ran 2 or 3 years ago. So that was one reason I was like, you know what, I think we've got a good chance of getting this thing started again. We'd pull the carb, it would need a carb job, at the very least. But, by the end of it, he's going to need hydraulic overhaul. There's a very good chance that these are going to leak as soon as you start using them again, when they sit for that long. He would need tires, fluids, just the basic stuff, along with more extensive attention, such as electrical and who knows what else as we got into it. So just for the guy's budget, it didn't work out, unfortunately. So it bums me out, because I hate having to think of this being the end of the line for a bike like this. I do believe that if someone wanted to, this would be a great project bike. It's got 48,000 miles on it, but these things can go for forever, if they're treated right. So yeah, I guess that's it. I think it's a 1983. It's an 83, 84. I have a title for it. Whoever wants it, first come, first serve, come get it. This would be a great project bike. It's purple. It's got a cool paint job on it. indigenous motif going on. Had a custom paint job in 1998. I don't know. Part of me is really sad to pull the plug on the project, but we got to be realistic and make sure that we're doing the right thing for our customers. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. If anyone needs a venture, needs parts, call us. Like and subscribe.